Evening, guys. I've got to keep my voice down tonight as we're a bit late and the kids have just gone to sleep. But we're going to review John Lennox's Where is God in a Coronavirus World? And many thanks to my friend and Pastor Lucas Stewart for sending this one through the post. Really great read. It's only a very, very small book, 60 pages, so I really recommend it. And I'll put a link in the comments below so you'll be able to pick up this for a very small amount of money from somewhere. It's difficult to pick out a section from this because the whole book is like a really good logical progression of thought to an excellent conclusion. I'm going to pick a bit out, but I mean, it starts off by talking about the issues very sensitively that we're all going through right now, and then it looks at. He's a very clever fellow, John Lennox. He's debated people like Richard Dawkins and done really well. And you can see some of those debates online as well on YouTube, I think. And, you learn lots of things in this. Like, I didn't know that some viruses are good, really important for the ecosystem. So, for someone to say, oh, why did God make viruses? Well, we know why, because, the world would just not be able to break down and recycle certain things if there wasn't viruses. But obviously people would say, well, why couldn't God make just only good ones? And the bit I'm just going to quote here kind of answers that a little bit, or brings it into question. It says this brings us to a whole class of similar questions. Couldn't God have made electricity that was not dangerous, or fire that did not burn? Couldn't God have made an organic world without predation? Couldn't God have made life that never went wrong and viruses that were always beneficial? Couldn't God have made creatures that never did wrong? After all, though coronavirus is serious, it is not going to kill as many people this year as other people will. Very interesting point and very accurate point. So I think it raises a lot of questions. That the problem of evil in the world, natural evil and moral evil. And this is, something that's natural evil. It seems to have come about, quite naturally. And, and it doesn't answer all the questions. I don't think we do know all the answers to the questions, but it does remind us that God is a God of love, all right? And at the end of the day, we've got to trust him in the midst of all this chaos that's going on, and know that he's actually come and he understands suffering. He understands our pain. He knows what we're going through because he's come down to earth in the form of Jesus, and he suffered himself when he died on the cross. And he adds this, a Christian is not so much a person who's solved the problem of pain, suffering and the coronavirus, but one who has come to love and trust a God who has himself suffered. So it's a question of trust, where you're going to put your trust, and mine's in the Lord. But this is a great book. Really recommend it.